Idenati is a website that allows you to organize your whole life in one space. I'm just using it as like my daily to-do list. So as you can see, you can add due dates and all of that. And also there is a calendar view, which you can connect your Google Calendar to Idenati. Then I went to my school category where I save all of the websites I use for school. Make sure to click the link in the description box to start using Idenati. Hello, this is editing me. So the audio for these clips where I was talking is absolutely wrecked. I don't really know what happened. I guess it's just like the background noise. I don't know. Okay, anyway, but basically what I was talking about here is that, well, first I talk about like what I was gonna do that day, which was like doing the laundry, going for the laundry, blah blah. It doesn't really matter because you're gonna see that later. But I also talked a little bit about like my relationship with like productivity and that like need to be productive all the time, and how like that affects my mental health a lot, because I have this like concept in my mind of what productivity is, which is doing work, doing school, like in my case is doing YouTube stuff. That's like what being productive means in my head. But like productivity can be really different for everyone, and it can also like include self-care, because like self-care is really like worth your time and stuff like that, and just how I like base my like self-worth on how productive I am in a day. And because I have that concept of productivity, which is like just work, then if I don't do any work, then I feel like I'm not like good, I'm not doing okay. But like I am, like I don't, yeah, it's just really affects how I see myself, like how I see myself as a person, and it just affects like my self-esteem and stuff. But this video is basically, it's like a start to my journey to try to redefine what productivity means in my life, because as I said, productivity can mean really different things for different people, and like it can mean self-care. And in my case, like again, I have this concept, like this image in my head of self-care, that it's like spa day or like face masks and stuff like that. But like self-care is way more than that. Self-care is like just taking care of yourself, you know. Like in my case, it's like taking the time to read a book, or maybe like going outside for a walk, or literally just going outside to like take in the sun and stuff. That's what self-care is for me, like just those little things, because yeah, those are the things that help me feel a little bit better. So basically in this video, I'm just trying to do all those things that like make me happy besides work, and like just trying to wrap my head around the fact that that's also me being productive, you know. That's also me doing things that are worth my time, and that I shouldn't just spend all my time working. And if I don't do any work, that's okay. I'm still good. I'm still like a worthy person, you know. But yeah, that's basically what I was talking in this clip. Alrighty, so I did the laundry, finished the lunch, everything. I did my hair, kinda. Yeah, anyway, I thought that while like I'm ready to go out, I could talk about the books that I've been reading. I don't actually know if anyone cares about the books that I've been reading, but I want to talk about books. So anyway, we're gonna do it. So these are all the books that I've gotten from the library, like in the past week and a half, I think. I have no concept of time, so I don't really know if it's actually been like 2 weeks. But basically, I have read 3 of them. Well, yeah, I have read 3 of them and I'm reading another one. So I'm just gonna talk about the books that I've read and like my thoughts on them, I guess. Me getting ready is basically just putting blush on and then chapstick because that's all I do for my face. Anyway, so first I read these 3 books and I started with this one. I read this like on the week of Women's International Day. So basically, if you don't know, this book, A Vindication of the Rights of Woman by Mary Wollstonecraft. Anyway, A Vindication of the Rights of Woman, it was like okay, I guess. Like I don't know, I read a lot of feminist books and like I consume a lot of feminist media. But what I usually like to read about is intersectionality because I believe that's like really important because all women don't have the same experience because such things as like race, class, sexuality, if you're trans or not, like different types of women have different experiences, and it's important to recognize that in feminism so that you can truly include everyone, you know, because that's what we want. We want everyone to be equal. So this book, it was like okay, like it wasn't eye-opening. I could have easily gone about my life without reading this book like ever, because it's just all stuff that it's like very common. I mean, it makes sense because it was like this was published in like the 1900s, no, the 1700s. Yeah, so it's like it's really old. So it's understandable that these facts like, oh, women actually should and have the ability to work. Like those were very like weird concepts at the time, you know, and that's understandable. But like I just wanted to read a little bit more about like the foundation of feminism and like the beginnings of feminism. But it was okay. Like I don't know, it was okay. I still recommend reading like newer feminist books because newer feminist books usually include intersectionality, or at least they should. Then I read Loveless by Alice Oseman, and this was such a great book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Like it was so good. Like this book is about, what's her name, Georgia. And Georgia, she's never been in love, she's never felt like sexual attraction towards anyone. So basically she's gone into university and she wants to experience all those things, but like she just has to navigate her sexuality and friendships and the meaning of love to her. And it was such a great book. Like we have age representation, we have lesbian representation, Latinx representation, non-binary representation. I just really loved this book. I could relate to the characters and it was just like a really nice read. I really like all of it. It's a very character driven book, so if you like that kind of stuff, I would definitely recommend this one. I liked all of the characters. Like I was crying in my bed for like 2 hours because I just loved the characters so much and I didn't want the book to end. It was just so good. I don't know, I like it a lot, and it was like just what I needed at the moment to like be able to relate to someone, but still been able to escape reality, you know. Also, there's a lot of background noise. Yeah, there's a lot of background noise. I don't know what's going on. There's like construction outside, but we're just going to ignore that. Anyway, after that, I read The Magic Fish, and I don't actually know how to pronounce the author's name. I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just gonna put it in the screen right now. This book is actually a graphic novel, and I don't read a lot of graphic novels, so like I guess my standards for graphic novels are not that high because I haven't read that many and I don't have a lot of experience with them. I think this was probably one of the best graphic novels I've ever read. Again, I've only read so many, so like don't like quote me on that, but I think it's great. Like look at the art style. It's like beautiful. I love the colors and like how the use of colors represents the perspective of like different people and stuff. And I just love that a lot. So basically this book, it has Vietnamese representation, it has gay representation, it talks about immigration, and I think that's like mostly it. On Goodreads, I actually found this book because it said it had a gender representation and I just wanted to read a little bit more about like I just wanted to like read a book with a gender representation, but I don't know if I found that. Like it has one character that like they kind of hint at the fact that they're a gender, but then like not really, because that was just like their disguise. So I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know where the gender representation came, but yeah. Anyway, this book is great. It's like, it talks a lot again about immigration and about like language and language barriers, and how like stories and literature can like help what's the word, like get rid of those language barriers in a way. So basically we follow the story of this guy and his mom. So his mom is an immigrant, she's from Vietnam, and basically he is like 13 years old, I think, and he's like exploring sexuality. At the beginning of the book, the characters start talking about the language barrier they have, because his mama speaks mostly Vietnamese and he speaks mostly English. So even though they understand each other, it's definitely like a language barrier, you know, because they don't speak the same language. So his mom can learn English, and like so they can like communicate. They read fairy tales. So through those fairy tales, we kind of see their story, and how every time a new person tells the fairy tale, but if Tien is like reading the fairy tale, it's gonna be different from how his mom reads it. And if his mom's reading it, maybe we see some like flashbacks to her like life in Vietnam, or what her immigration story was like. And I just think that's so cool. Like I just love that, like the contrast between fairy tales and like how they use that to like communicate. And the ending was beautiful, and how they use like the fairy tale again to communicate. Alrighty, my phone ran out of storage, but I'm back. Yeah, I just loved the Magic Fish so much, and I give it 5 stars, as well as Loveless. They were just great reads that I read them both in one day, and it was, I don't know, I loved them a lot. So yeah, definitely read those. Also I checked my makeup. It's good. I don't know why this one's like this and why this one's like this, but it's fine. Anyway, now I'm reading Cemetery Boys by Erin Thomas, and this book I'm literally 80 pages in, and I already know it's gonna be like at least a 4-star book, because it's touching my heart. Like, it's the characters, I just anyway, Cemetery Boys. Cemetery Boys is, I'm gonna hold it, I'm gonna pretend I'm not a booktuber. Cemetery Boys is like a fantasy book, and basically it's set in this world. Well, it's set in LA, but we have this community of brujes. Brujes as in witches. Also it's written here as in bruj-x, but that sounds really weird like saying it, so I'm just gonna say brujes, because it's like the gender neutral version. But yeah, anyway, so we have this community of brujes, and basically they take care of the spirits, basically. So they're Mexican. It's all very based in like Dia de los Muertos, and like just Mexican culture, of course. And yeah, so basically the brujos, they basically take care of the spirits, in the sense that they can like take them to like the afterlife, release them to the afterlife, and if they turn evil, because if the spirit, like when a person dies, their spirit can sometimes stay like on earth, and sometimes if they stay for too long, their spirit turns evil. So that's where the brujos have to like forcefully send the spirit to the afterlife. Or of course they can do it before and just like do it nicely. But basically, oh, and the women, they heal people. But we follow the story of Yadriel, and Yadriel, he is a trans boy. He's like 16, and basically his community doesn't accept him, and they don't see him as a brujo because he's trans. And usually brujes go through this ceremony when they're 15 to like, you know, be like, oh yes, they're brujes, you know, they have their powers and everything. But they didn't let Yadriel go through the ceremony because they were like, oh, it's not gonna work because you're trans. And a lot of people still like misgender him and dead name him. Of course, the author of this book is trans, if I'm not mistaken. I follow the author on Twitter, so that's why I was so excited about this book. So yeah, so I don't know, I just thought that was like a nice little detail. But basically, Yadiel goes through all this like stuff to try to prove to his community that he is in fact a brujo. And basically in the process of doing so, he summons the spirit of this dude that goes to his high school. He just died. He goes to his high school and he accidentally summons his spirit, and now he's stuck with him. So okay, I like this a lot. I could definitely see this as a movie, like a cheeky but like still a very good movie, because it of course talks about like trans people and their experiences. I don't know, I'm just so excited to like keep reading this, and that's definitely one of the things that I'm gonna do today, just read a lot. But yeah, we have Latinx representation, we have trans representation, we have gay representation because yeah, Dale is gay, and that's I think all of it. I'm not sure, but like I'm just really excited about this book. I'm only 80 pages in and I'm already like smiling while I'm reading because I love the characters already, and I just know this is gonna be such a good book. I'm very excited. Anyway, okay, so now for the next books that I have on my TBR, I guess, because they're the books that I got from the library. We have, let's start with a little one. Let's start with Angela Davis's Women, Race, and Class. As I said, I like reading about intersectionality because I think that's really important when talking about feminism. And yeah, I've never read Angela Davis, so this is really exciting. Then I'm reading Will Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil, The Life, Legacy, and Love of My Son Michael Brown by Leslie McSpadden or McSpadden. And then we've got some like 3 pretty heavy books. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I need to balance my reading stuff. Then I'm reading The Shock Doctrine, The Rise of Disaster Capitalism by Naomi Klein. This is bigger than my face. I'm really scared. I don't remember what this is about, why I got it from the library. So it has like 600 pages. I'm very intimidated. Anyway, yeah, so when I'm going to the library today in a little bit, when I like move the laundry to the dryer, I'm gonna return these 3, and I think I'm gonna get another one. I don't actually remember if there's any books like placed on hold for me. I really enjoy how this girl looks. Anyway, I'm not gonna touch it, and I'm gonna try to fix this one. Okay, bye. Hello, I am back. Probably not the best idea to like film with my front camera because it's really dark and it's probably not gonna be the best quality, but I'm too lazy to like try to frame myself and like get it right. Anyway, it's now 7:30 p.m. It's been a while since I last filmed because for some reason the walk to the library seems really short, but it's actually pretty long. But I got 2 more books. I need to stop getting books from the library. Like someone needs to take away my library card. Like it's a problem. I can't read this much in such a short time. Anyway, my mom's making cappuccinos. Apologies. So now I'm gonna read White Tears, Brown Scars, How White Feminism Betrays Women of Color by Ruby Hamad. I keep butchering names. I'm really sorry. Anyway, this book, I'm very excited about this one. Again, feminist book about intersectionality. And as you can see, I've been ordering a lot of non-fiction books, and I think that's because one day I woke up and I was like, I don't know anything about anything. And then I went on like a placing a whole spree, like ordering spree of books from the library that were like non-fiction. And now I'm here with like all of these books to read. Yeah, this is a problem. Anyway, and then I'm gonna read Cinderella instead. Very excited about this one. So yeah, that's my plan. Also, Harry is alive now. Look at him. He's thriving now. Look at him. See, I need to change his, I don't want to like pull him right now because I just watered him, but his roots are coming out from the bottom. So there's like 2 pots here. In case you want to know, he is a tropical croton. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go drink coffee with my mom. And why I'm holding Harry. Also, yes, it's Harry as in Harry Styles. I have issues. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'll see you in a little bit, maybe. Hello, I look gross right now, but we're just gonna ignore that because this is like 2 days later. But I just wanted to like talk a little about like my review from the day. At the beginning of the video, I talked a little about like wanting to redefine like productivity in my life. And of course I'm not going to like achieve this in one day. Like it's gonna take a little bit of time to like kind of redefine productivity, but like just making this video and still being nice to myself, even though I could have done like way more that day, is helping. Like it's hard at the end of the day to be like, ah yes, this was a very productive day, or like to feel good about myself when I know that I haven't done as much as I've done. Like I haven't been as productive as I would like to have been. And like if all I did was like school and going for a walk, that's, or at least that's like what I feel I did, then that's not a lot to like go off to feel good about myself, because as I said, I base a lot of my self-worth on my productivity, which is not good. Don't do that. If you don't do it, like don't do it. It's not good. It's not great for your mental health and your self-esteem. But like when just like making this video helped me realize that I actually did like so much more than that. Like I struggle a lot with just like doing things. My whole life it's been like this. Doing anything just takes a lot of effort for me, and that includes even like the basic things like getting up in the morning, or like taking a shower, or like eating. All of that just takes a lot of effort from me. I don't really know why, but like now I'm just trying to congratulate myself for just doing anything, even if it's not exactly what I wanted to get done in the day. I'm still gonna be like, you did a good job, like you at least did something, you got out of bed, like that's a lot for you. So I'm just trying to be nicer to myself, you know? So like that, the whole thing with like being nicer to myself just helped me feel better about myself. And I'm just trying to not be hard on myself, because like, first of all, I've always struggled with this. I've always struggled with getting up and like doing things. And besides, now we're in a whole pandemonium. It's a lot, you know? It's a lot. We've been a year, well, I've been a year inside. I don't know about you. I hope you've been a year inside. Unless you live in like one of the countries that are actually, you know, good at dealing with these things and actually got rid of this whole thing at the start because they followed the guidelines and everything. But I live in Canada, so yeah. Anyway, like just making this video helped me realize that I actually did a lot of things, even if it wasn't exactly what I wanted to get done. Like I wanted to paint, I wanted to read, I did read a little bit. I just can't do all those things, you know? Of this whole thing with being nicer to myself, that wouldn't have happened like last week, you know? Last week I was feeling really down, like extra down, just not feeling great. And like, I don't know, every day is just it's a little bit of progress, you know? Like every day is just like a step closer. Well, not every day, because I definitely have days where I feel really shitty about myself, but like it just feels like every day is like a little bit step closer to what I want to be with like my mental health and with my self-esteem and all of that. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. This is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say, so I'm just gonna go. Stay safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.